So the initial design brief for Kor Phaeron and Erebus was to portray them in the timeline of the Black Library book, The First Heretic. So it sets right after the punishment of the word bearers by the emperor for worshipping him, and when they started to look out for new gods and they found the Chaos gods. Their appearance is still loyal to the emperor, but their mind already changed to chaos, and they will become the harbinger of the Horus heresy instead. So like every project, it starts with a search for imagery and design, what has been done in the past. And for this particular project, there hasn't been done much. So it was very challenging designing those two characters from the ground up. The only design work was published in the Collected Visions by Black Library. Sam Wood did some artworks. So their outer appearance is still loyal and proper imperial, but their mind already turned to chaos. I wanted to portray Erebus really as a fanatical zealot and preacher and get really his insanity across. So his whole existence is actually only fueled by his beliefs in something. So at first it was the Emperor, and then later on the Chaos Gods. The main influences were actually the 40k Dark Apostle miniatures by Edgar and Jess Goodwin, and of course all the chaplains that has been released over the years, because he is somewhat their predecessor. And to emphasize this fact that he is pretty insane, I think I went a bit insane on the details as well. I even sculpted like the little runes on his face, and I think there's not really any flat surfaces on this model. So Kor Phaeron was a big contrast to Erebus, because he is basically an old man in a Terminator suit. So I wanted to emphasize this fact through a couple of things. One thing was the pose, to make it pretty stiff and awkward, so really to show that he's not very comfortable wearing this Terminator armor. Another thing was to add a lot of mechanical articulations and joints and pistons to the armor, to show it that basically the armor is like a machine, and he's controlling this machine, but he's not really wearing it. And I think for Kor Phaeron it's a very interesting contrast to have this old man on one side, and then still this modified cataphractii armor, which is looking pretty imposing, and he is at the end of the day still a very lethal fighter. It has been really a great project to work on, because Kor Phaeron and Erebus are basically the architects of the Horus heresy. And yeah, it has been the starting point to explore the Word Bearer Legion further on. And yeah, there's more to come.